Hey everyone, it's BDevine, and this is the Destiny Code Part 2. A little bit different than Part 1, and I really hope you've done Part 1, so you've done the activation and brought this into your energetic being. We are going to go over the channelings from Part 1, and also I've done a channeling for Part 2. We'll also do a meditation so we can have a little look into and get some messages about our future now that we've activated some things. And we will probably most likely have a look at the crystal mandala as well. This is a little different than the first one. So what's happened here is I've actually tried to record this quite a few times and I've been stopped. I don't know how to explain it other than some of the things that I was mentioning and bringing up. I got this feeling that it's not going to be, it's going to be over the top of the head of some people. So it's just going to be too deep. Okay. So I restarted this again, right? And I always do, I feel like within myself that I always just put the video out. So every time I make a video, I just put it out there. I don't even think about it. But this is so important because we're working with our destiny code now. So don't watch this part if you haven't activated that part of your being, okay? This part is also going to be put up on my Teachable site, which will allow you free access and different meditations as well. So whatever I do today, I'm taking you through a meditation today, etc., I will record it unless I've already got it recorded, and then I'll just put it up there. But as we go through this channeling section here with this video, I will be making some commentary because we really have to maintain our strength and focus. So right now, make sure that you've put yourself into your place of receiving, okay? Put yourself into that declaration for yourself, okay? And we're going to get ready with this channeling. So, okay, so I'm going to read it to you again, and I will actually write this up and put it at the website as well as a PDF for you. But here we go. This was the first channeling, okay? Dear ones, greetings and love to you. A new doorway of truth, awakening, acceptance, and mystery is being revealed. I am source energy. I come forward to you with all beings of light and love to unlock and integrate within you your destiny code. Okay, so what is this destiny code, you might ask? And this is something that is like what you would call a safeguard, a locked away version of you that is protected at all times from altercation, change, and invasion. And it was within your soul star and earth star chakra, and it can never be destroyed, only activated by you. You're the one that's in charge of this whole thing. Okay, just like we programmed the Lemurian crystals, we have programmed this as a safeguard in case the darkness tried anything, which they did. So it can never be destroyed. Okay. Using 3 sacred keys of colored light, any invasive energy or procedure will thereby be destroyed. Anything that you did not want to have happen, anything that happened to you that was against your will, any damage that has done to your body, to your mind, to your soul, to your heart is eradicated. Doesn't mean that you won't know that something happened to you, okay? It doesn't mean that you won't have a memory, in other words, of this, but it won't be affecting you physically, emotionally, mentally, especially if you continue to stay strong. You have to maintain this energy as well, and I will talk about that soon. So anything that has been unpure or designed to harm you or accelerate your body and health problems, okay? So there are many things designed to accelerate our problems in our body, right? And that is coming from the foods that we eat, the chemicals in the foods, the GMOs, right? You've got the, what do you call it? what do they call it? Chemtrails. We're just getting dumped with tons and tons and tons of chemicals all the time. It's in our hair, it's in our skin, it's everywhere. And then we're adding to that with the food most people eat, not everybody, but most people eat. And, everything that we're smelling, all the environmental factors, everything. So anything that's been designed to accelerate health problems, medications, pharmaceuticals, all those sorts of things, this will also be removed upon activation. It means that you can't keep on putting that crap back into you. You're going to have to focus on what you really want to have in ingesting in your body, etc. And also, chemicals, painkillers, all the things that the doctors give you for this, and then you've got to take 20 things to counteract that, and then you've got to do this and that. And people with their nervous anxiety, I've got to have my Zoloft and all this stuff where it messes with the serotonin levels, it messes with your body, it makes you angrier. It's just, if that all wasn't around, okay, so before pharmaceuticals was around, what did people do when they were depressed? They would spend time, they'd say, you know what, I think I just need to go out for a few days by myself into nature, right? They would spend time on their own. They would snap themselves out of it. They would talk to themselves differently. They wouldn't hold on to it. You know why? Because no one was there coddling them, holding their hand, or making them feel better. In fact, when someone was depressed back in the day, there's something majorly wrong with that person, so they're not going to say anything to draw attention to themselves even further. And back then, who really cared? It's not like you had lots of communities like we do now, and you can put a Facebook post, oh God, FML, oh, I'm going through it, just to get all the sympathy. All that changes. We have to pretend that dark agenda of keeping people sick, keeping people consuming the wrong things, giving them the wrong things for their body, etc. Not teaching us how to look after ourselves, and in fact flagging anyone that is, right? Don't you see something wrong there? Like how many naturopaths and natural holistic doctors, etc., were just completely vilified when all of the C19 came out. Why? They were actually trying to help us naturally, right? Naturally, rather than giving us something that then makes other things happen to us. And, it's like we're, and this is just because it's also because it's hit me personally, with my dad dying unnecessarily 3 months after the jib jab, because it accelerated things in his body, and it like ravaged through so fast. It wasn't even funny. By the time they detected, brain cancer, by the time we got there and detected it, it was like 24 days later, he's gone. Like that, they said, oh, you might live, 2 to 6 months. It's like 24 days, right? So, I'm sensitive to the fact that, because of certain things, invasive things that there wasn't enough testing for and all this sort of stuff, and just rushing into it, doesn't that tell you something? So we are lifting out of that reality. So when you see something on TV or whatever, don't listen. It's not your reality anymore. We have to shift right out of it. And for my point of view, I'm going to be teaching everything I know for natural healing, right? To be, and this is coming from someone who survived cancer as well myself at 24. So I don't have anything existing in my body at all other than a healthy system for my age, especially, right? It's like the problems I had in my 20s, I should have been having now in my late 40s, right? And nothing, just perfect. Everything's running and beautifully. And it has to do with the mind. It has everything to do with your mind, okay? How you see yourself. So with this activation, don't think that you have to do nothing now. You've got to allow this to integrate. You've got to get used to it, and you've got to remind yourself, okay? We've got to own our own energy. So anything, okay, you don't have to do anything, only give permission to activate this, okay? Once activated, your full 12-strand DNA, your cells, your true nature, will begin to return to full capacity, okay, and strength. So any current health issues, continued positive reinforcement with continued positive reinforcement. So in other words, you're jumping into this new thing. Why do you want to bring all the baggage with you and start complaining again, right? I just can't. It's like I can't understand that. So there'll be people that just totally fall back into an old habit and start being, just in their head, like everything's happening to me, poor me, whatever. And, then thinking, well, it didn't work because, my life still sucks. It's like you've got to change also. You have to consciously change. So this is going to take a little while to integrate, do it properly, and then work on it every day. Do not slip back, right? So your natural psychic abilities will unfold and brand new future can begin. When you fully integrate your code, and only you can activate the internal lock with the 3 sacred keys, which we've already done, right? Everything will change. Humanity will survive this. Peace will quickly take over. And your normal world will change because you're not going to be, I know that we are still we go and get in our car to go somewhere, okay, $5 a gallon or whatever, right? Or more, wherever you are. And it's jumping all the time, okay? And there's no need for it. We have plenty of resources in the United States, especially to get our own, but we've become reliant on all of these other countries who are now in conflict. So, you're giving all your money over to Russia, for example, and buying all of their oil and stuff. Why? It's just funded the next thing that they've done, right? And everything is why we have it all ourselves. You need to look at the bigger picture, right? And we don't want to live in that world where everything is going to be destroyed. The little people, the small businesses, the middle class, the lower class, whatever, we're all going to be in that world, destitute, homeless on our own, and no one to, the way that things keep going, people who are not spiritual, I don't know how they're coping because they're just going to be stress heads all the time with what's going on. We have to lead the way out of it. This is what we're doing. This is what my mission is. This is what I'm trying to help you with. This is why I created an academy so you could heal yourself properly and never need anything again. You shouldn't be taking any pharmaceuticals and all that. You don't need it. Your body does not need it. Your body rejects it, and that's why you have problem after problem. People say, oh, well, I need it for this. Well, you eventually don't need it. If you work with the way that I would teach you, right, you won't need it, okay? So the normal world will change. So what we're doing is we're creating for ourselves a new world within this one, if that makes sense. So we're just in this, we're here, but we're in the next vibration over. So the things that are affecting everybody else are not affecting us. And this creates us to become the leaders that people want to be like, because they're saying, well, these people got out of it. These people are quite fine. These people are healthy. These people are not reliant on anything. These people are, doing the work. These people want to share with others. They want to, for myself, I want you all to be in this position where, you're in tune all the time. You don't watch the news. You don't listen to all of the stories, that you create your own reality, right? This is what this is all about. This has to happen right now. So we must activate this destiny code to further push you into your life path and your blueprints. Do you really think that you came here just to go, oh, life's too stressful now, I'm just going to give in and do as I'm told, and I'll just do whatever they ask me to do, and yeah, that's my mission? No. Right? if you have wished for everything to change, for Earth to have peace, for harmony and connection, please decide what you truly want to do. Please decide if you're going to sit there contemplating all your mistakes, all your dramas, all your family dramas, all your body, your health, your comparing, your just stress on an everyday level, getting annoyed about nothing and letting people get to you. And do you think that is that everything that you want, or are you actually looking for something else? Because what will happen is if you spend your life getting other people to direct you, okay, you're always going to feel resentment in your heart, and you're going to feel useless in your heart that you couldn't do it, that you relied on all these people. Again, another reason for the academy is to teach you how to do it yourself. No more readings, no more phone calls with psychics or whatever you want to do. It's like, here's all the information how to heal yourself. Here's you healed. Like when you finish the course, you're like, oh my God, I'm ready. I'm out of it. I know what I'm doing. It's finally sunk in, like everything that I'm doing here and what I'm supposed to be doing. And I'm ready to lead and lead by example. And I'm not going to boss people and, all that sort of stuff. I'm just like, say, hey, we can do this. Let's do this. Let's do it this way. This is going to give you a result, right? Otherwise, it's just you're going around in circles, stressing yourself out and going down, okay, spiraling downward, okay, without a way out. And this is what's happening to people that are just giving up, okay? Oh, I want to get out of here, right? So please decide that you have everything to gain with this activation. After all, it was designed by you. It's perfect for you. You gave yourself an easy way out of dealing with karma, cycles, invasive procedures, and anything you feel that was forced upon you, anything. So this dark agenda that came, so long ago, right? This dark agenda came then, and it was a tempting of the people that were already, doing the beautiful work that they were doing. They were already in this beautiful, blissful energy. There was no problems. There was instant manifestations. They were, they were in tune telepathically with each other and, doing all of this beautiful work and generating beautiful nature, surroundings, looking after the animals, everything, seeing the angels just walking right past, like with their own eyes. It was normal for that to happen. And then over time, getting certain majors or certain leaders or certain people, who worked on magical energy or healing or whatever, were just worked on over time by this dark vibration that kept on telling them that they could control everything and they could own everything, but they just had to do this. So basically, they gave up what they already had just to get it back again, with a promise of getting it back again. Giving up all you have with someone promising it will come back. You're already sovereign. You already have power and dominion over anything. You just don't know it and you don't own it. And that's what I'm here to remind you to do, okay? So that's how it started way back with this dark invasion, okay, and takeover in a sense. And then it became different groups, different religions, different groups, different mystical things, even, different clubs, different organizations, the Masons, the Illuminati, etc. And they're all over the world. There's even female ones as well. And they sign to each other that they are in whatever degree they are and whatever connection they have. Everybody knows it. Skull and bones, all this. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is actually reality, right? So, and I used to just not want to know about it, to be honest with you. But by turning away from it, I was allowing it to just run rampant rather than addressing it, saying no, and moving into a new vibration, which is what we needed to do in the first place. So the worlds, the planets, also have these destiny codes. And by you connecting with yours, it enables and reminds them to connect with theirs as well. So in a sense, creating wormholes of escape. So you'll be more protected than ever before when you activate this thing, you're working on it, you say, nah, that's the old me, this is the new me. When you have little things come up, you step into it more, and what ends up taking place is you are completely protected around you from all the nonsense. It's like you just cannot intertwine yourself with it anymore. Okay. Your vibration has been getting ready for the last 5 years. All right. So, all of you have been working on yourself a little bit more than we had the last 2 years with all the nonsense, etc. And it's sort of, even though it's all, we have all this nonsense going on, it pushed us deeper. Some people, it pushed people away from their pathway, and they just ended up succumbing to all of the BS agendas and stuff, all of the ritual, satanic, evil stuff. They just fell for it, it's unbelievable. So we're going to be leaders in not leading with superiority, leading with understanding and compassion, and guiding people into their own blueprint of life, into their own life missions, where we can all manifest things beautifully and live peacefully, everyone doing whatever the hell they want to do, rather than, not hurting anyone, of course, as long as that's not the case. But live with whoever you want to live with, marry whoever you want to marry. There's fairness and freedom, and all of the old issues and slavery and enslavement and all the things that have happened over time is not our reality anymore, right? Your vibration has been getting ready for the past 5 years. This is why so much has changed. This is why we're seeing so much nuttiness. This is why we're seeing shortages, and we're seeing price going up, and we're seeing nutty decisions being made and orders being signed, and cahoots with other countries and covering up things, and this has been said and this has been said, and then distraction over here, distraction over there, and it's just all games that they're playing with you. And the thing is like they're laughing. So all of the elites, leaders, they're just laughing because they're untouched by it all. They want only the elites, want only those who are really wealthy left. And that's not even going to work, because they're going to start picking each other off then, until what? There's one person left on the globe. Like, hey, congratulations. So why am I doing this? Okay. Why is it me doing this? And the question is not us, right? So this information has been there for everybody. There's been people trying to give it to you all in different ways as well. Some of them are freaky ways, so people don't understand it too much, or it's too in depth about the Illuminati or whatever, or it's too in depth about agendas, or it's too in depth about skull and bones, and it's in your face and it's yelling at you, and it starts to feel, frightening rather than enlightening, right? You start to feel like, oh, I don't want to know about any of that stuff. So, the information has been here. People call it higher self. People call it astral bodies. And believing that it's only activated in your meditations and journeys, not actually embodied within yourself, right? So it's like, oh, I've got a journey to do all this stuff. I don't know how to journey. I can't meditate. I don't see anything. I'm not a clairvoyant. All these excuses, and you end up just not doing anything, okay? This is given to you within you. That's the only answer. So it's time for the turning point in your history. This is it. I wrote a book in 2013, and it talked about the corruption and how it's all got to dissolve. We're choosing to step out of it. We're choosing to end our connection with that nuttiness and the evil and the mind control, okay, and the lies, and keeping people, just giving people what they want you to know, and causing problems between you and others under the disguise of, oh, we're going to help this group over here. And well, they deserve it, okay? But it's not really, because it's causing problems within the group and problems with other people who then suddenly have a problem of this group being highlighted, and they're not. Now suddenly they're internalizing hatred and all of this. We've got to think about what we say, what we do, and we're being programmed to stress because we've already had 2 years of psychological abuse. Okay, so once you've had it for long enough, you'll just listen to a ideal and go, okay, that's the way out. We'll do that, right? And it's hurting people. They're not helping you to get healthy, not helping you to be strong. They're not helping you to be confident. They're not helping you to live safely. They're just, all the prices are just going up, and everyone's even having a harder time, and people have had a harder time as it is. There's no help for us. There's only help for every other place in the world besides us, right? And the problems with everything is everywhere. So this is infiltrated everywhere, as I've said from the beginning. This is not just one country is the big problem. It's all of them in cahoots with each other because they're all in these secret groups. And they have been throughout the generations of their bloodlines. And they just continue the game that they're all hoodwinking us. It's actually one of their things is to actually hoodwink an initiate into the Masons or whatever they want to go in, whatever group they want to go into. They trick them into going into it, tell them that they're going to find out all this stuff, don't really find out much at all, do the whatever ritual they're being told to do, or else. It's terrible. Okay, so the information has been available to everybody, and it's time for the turning point in history. BDevine is not and never would consider herself chosen in any way. I'm not special. I'm not more special than anybody else. I'm not more psychic than anyone else. I just own it. I own who I am. I trust in my abilities. I just trust the whole thing completely, right? I don't doubt myself for a second. And that comes with being the most important thing in your life is yourself instead of everybody else first. And if you give your energy away to everybody else first, you'll never feel like you actually get anything in return. You'll feel like it's hard for you to tune in, and it's hard for you to do readings, or it's hard for you to connect, or it's hard for you to get the information, or it's hard for you to channel, it's hard for you to focus, it's hard for you to be positive. You will think that all the time because you put yourself last. It's just how it works. So until you step into who you really are and just own it, doesn't matter what you believe in, doesn't matter whether you are black, white, red, yellow, whatever you are, whatever your sexual preference is, own it. Just own it. You don't need anyone to pump it up. You don't need anyone to make others see what you see. Just own it, right? Because otherwise what we do is we end up fighting even when people are finally getting the praise that they deserve or the acknowledgement that they deserve, then we're still all fighting about it, right? And the elites know it. That's why they do it. Okay. And androgyny is the actual theme, is like everybody having, like, being non-binary, because that is what they worship. Okay, so that's what they worship. That even goes into deeper stuff. I'm going to screen share some things that you should read. I'm not going to do it on here. I was going to go into it a fair bit and show you, okay, but I just think you can see it yourself. Okay, look up these things. So this is a way of helping the occupants of the world. That is my mission. How can I do something? How can I get the information? How can I just help people once and for all? This is it. Okay. I want you all to get out of the negative drudgery of this 3D. We're done. We're done. Okay. We want to be moving into our destiny, which is abundant and free, which is how it was set up in the beginning before all the Dark Lords took over. I just want you to know the original gangsters that started to infiltrate all of this negative, hey, you can have more than others, you can be in control, that kind of talk, they're all gone. So we see the scattering of their minions everywhere, like trying to maintain control as much as possible, restricting us as much as possible, squeezing the life out of us as much as possible, forcing procedures on us as much as possible, restrictions and this and this and this, to give. It's all an illusion though, and I want you to remember that, because the more people that are focusing on that, the more it will disappear, rather than just focus out away from it, right? There is an instant healing, abundance, and mind thought manifestations that we always had. We always had instantaneous healing, right? I just know that all comes from no doubt in your mind whatsoever that it's happening. It's got to be no doubt in your mind whatsoever that what you've decided to do here is already taking place. If you were to connect with a future aspect of yourself, which is basically, we're going to do a little meditation to get some answers, they will tell you, you've already done this, you've already got this, you're already in this thing, now own it. Okay? Believe me when I say unto you all that this destiny code has purposely been kept from humanity. What I'm telling you, has purposely been kept from us, because they don't want us to escape, but it's too late. Okay? Some other people are talking about timelines and that we're all dead, and in 2012 we all died and we were bumped into another timeline so that we wouldn't awaken humanity, but it was too late, and then all the timelines, it's too confusing, right? It's too confusing to talk to the normal person. Hey, did you know that you died in 2012 and you were bumped over here? I mean, that is not going to wash. Okay, so yes, there are multiple timelines, there are multiple realities, there are multiple dimensions. Okay, but we're focusing on what we're doing right now. If you're listening to me right now, you're in the here and now, in the same timeline as me. Okay. So you are all not supposed to know the secret passage to divinity. You're not supposed to know this. Okay. You're sovereign. You are sovereign, which means they can't do anything about it. And unless you don't know that you're sovereign, then you'll just give yourself, okay, I'll do whatever you say. But when I'm doing a clearing, for example, of negative energy on somebody, I am demanding the energy because I'm sovereign. I'm a sovereign being of light, and I rebuke you, to the negative energy. I refuse you. You have no power over me. None, right? You've got to start owning this. Doesn't mean that you're superior and you're greater. That is not what I'm talking about, because that's just what they're doing. This is you owning your energy, your frequency, accelerating it by owning it. Okay, giving yourself confidence by owning it. No one has any power over you unless you let them. None. And if you've given power away in past lives, and you need to renounce all those vows. And in fact, I will put, if you go to the teachable thing, I'll put a renouncing the vows thing, something that you can listen to, okay? Just in case there's some permissions somewhere in there. So you're not supposed to know this secret passage to divinity. Too bad, I'm telling you. You are not supposed to become leaders of humanity. Too bad, I'm showing you how to do that as well. Right? And I believe I'm protected. I believe my work is protected. And in fact, if you've noticed, maybe you have, maybe you haven't, the numbers that I'm getting are going through the roof now. Every day I'll wake up and my numbers have gone up on YouTube. That hasn't happened in over 5 years. Okay? Nothing was happening. In fact, it was going down. No matter how much content I was putting out. Step into the divinity code. Okay? We're in a new reality now, where people actually appreciate you and actually start listening, because people are looking for things. So moving into the teaching thing for me was perfect, because I can give you all of the secrets, teach you everything I know, show you how to be a leader to humanity, because that's what you're here for, to help these people who are lost. And when they see you doing this and escaping this, they're going to want to know how the hell you've done it. We're We're all going to be very busy, okay? You are being urged to listen, take action, and change your destiny into its proper course. This was all not supposed to be the way that it has been. You know, we have had a lot of things stolen from us. You know, genocide has happened. It's just so much has happened here, you know, and they're trying to control the numbers again. We're not going to let this happen. You're not meant to suffer. The way the darkness wants you to live, okay, is to have nothing and do as you're told if you want to live. That's basically what you're getting told here. But the darkness wants you the darkness wants you to live is not how any of you will be happy. Make no promise, make no oath, make no decree to anyone. Don't promise anyone anything, just do it for yourself. Promise yourself. Okay? To give away yourself is to be lost, never to be found until you indeed save yourself somehow. Maybe we've been trying to find this out for generations, right? Going back through time, right? Throughout Earth time, there have been multiple connections to enslavement, okay? Now, this was never the case, okay? So this only happened after the fall of Atlantis, Lemuria, and other ancient places of harmony. Once that happened, control started to take over subtly and then more forcefully, and then fear became a new reality that people weren't used to. So periods of time in absoluteness, peace, ultimate healing, and awareness resulted in peaceful existence and harmony, but dark forces from other planets promised more power and control of humanity as a whole, as well as the beasts of the earth, controlling the animals, using them as well. What you know as religion, Freemasonry, Illuminati, churches, schools, governments, institutions of all kinds, hospitals, healthcare, the whole thing has been infiltrated with darkness. Does not mean that the people that are just trying to help others and becoming nurses and teachers are dark. That's not what it means. It means that the original idea of this was to control people and, unfortunately, to hurt people through different procedures and chemicals and foods and all this sort of stuff, and what they're teaching in the schools and what they're, you know, it's like, it's not about what you really need to know. It's about what they want you to know. I'm so glad that I didn't go through with traditional formal schooling, because I just would have been told what, or taught what they want me to learn. That's not me. So they have been governed by evil, pretending to be of the light, peace, and harmony. Evil is very insidious. It will show up in multiple ways, and you think that you're safe, you know, and they are all promised to keep all secrets quiet. And so in these groups and in these connections and all this, that's all over the globe, okay? Like millions and millions and millions of people are involved in it, right? And they're told that if they are to tell anyone what really goes on, that they are going to die a horrible death and probably threaten their whole family. And we see people just suddenly disappear, you know, depending, who knows what they knew or were going to say or were going to tell us. You know, so many people who have tried to come out before and talk to the people that just disappear, right? Because they weren't protecting themselves. They weren't connected properly. They weren't, you know, and if something happens to me, something happens to me. Like, I don't care. I'll just transition and come back as well. So, you know, but I know I'm safe. That's not going to happen. Okay, believe me, they've tried. All right, they've tried and tried and tried and tried. They've tried through people. They've tried, you know, just everywhere in my life to try to take me out. It's just not going to work, right? And it doesn't mean that I think I'm great and I'm tough and I'm strong. It's no, because I believe in my protection. I believe in what I do, and they know it. I'm too hard work. It's almost like when you have a negative evil spirit or something after you, they're going to go to, you know, if you start rejecting it and shielding yourself and, doing all the right things and being strong and not being fearful, they're going to be like, oh, it's too hard, I'm going to go somewhere else. So that's what's happened here. They keep an eye on me though, don't you worry, but I've stepped over, so now everything's just going to flow, right? So they're pretending to be of the light and harmony, but secretly, which is why there are secret societies and things, secret clubs, secret groups, secretly they do all kinds of heinous things, all kinds of rituals, because they secretly worship evil. Because evil is the thing that started in the first place. The dark energy came forth and started and say, hey, I'll give you all of this, but you got to give me that. So these people gave away their sovereignty, thinking they were going to get something in return, probably money. That's why you see certain people who only make a certain amount of money per year with these amazing big grand homes and properties and more properties and other property. How? Come on, right? It's pretty intense. Okay. So they're all promised to keep all secrets quiet or die horrible deaths. It's part of the initiations and things that they have to go through. They're shown things as well to frighten them into submission. They show the world who they are and what level they have connected with in these groups, with these hand gestures, with different crosses, because a cross in itself, this having this cross energy is a big thing, and it's evil. Okay. Snakes, symbology, double-headed eagles, all of these things. So if you look deeper, signs and information are freely given, although under the guise of joking. It's only joking, it's only make-believe, or it's just in a movie, it's not real. Okay, whatever. But if you look, those who are under the influence of evil or are with these secret societies, churches, etc., they all show to other members their level of commitments. They will do this by hand gestures. They will do this by showing each other the levels that they are at. It's one of the I don't want to even do it, but like doing this, for example, is one. Having their hands crossed over somebody, standing behind like that, is another one. Showing the one eye. So you see people come out with a patch on their eye, or doing some kind of concert, and they're all wearing strange clothing and having one eye closed, or even having the mouth covering and stuff like that before we were even doing that, right? So they were showing you what's coming. Okay. There are unfortunately so many that are caught up in it, believing that what they are doing is positive. Of course they do. Many of them won't really know exactly what's going on. And many people that are into, just doing our spiritual work and stuff, we don't want to hear about it. Like, I didn't want to know about it. I didn't want to give them any power, right? But that was giving, by ignoring it, it was still allowed to continue. And if you put a spotlight on it, all right, it makes people start to understand things differently, and then be able to turn themselves more into their destiny, more into their life blueprint, rather than away from it, right? So they, some people just believe they're positive, and hey, I'm going to stick up for these people over here, not realizing that the agenda is to create a different race. And we know what happened the last time someone wanted to do that, right? See, the planes are around. Okay. So witchcraft, for example, in its older sense of how we did things, was herbs and oils and candles and, creating medicines from the earth, right? Doing it all naturally, putting this with this and it makes this, poultices and compresses. And you have a headache, you work with lavender. You have pigmentations on your skin, you work with lemons, right? And just the natural things that actually work. Okay. So in its first creation, with people working with animals and working with nature and, giving blessings and, that's fine. But what ended up taking place is that how it was governed, how it started to be governed, and well, hang on a minute. It is governed and brought into existence through rebellion, right? Through wanting something. I don't want to do religion. I want to do this. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? And the Freemasonry comes in, sacrifices. As things began to change, what was thought to be freedom and freedom to express yourself, I want you to listen to this carefully. What was thought to be freedom, even recognition. Finally, people are recognizing who we are and what we love to do, right? It was controlled, and deeply disturbing practices, which were not a part of the original essence, started to be introduced. So they would introduce, sex rituals and introduced, orgies and all kinds of things like this that can happen. Not in all places, just saying. And these were introduced as okay. It's okay because it's different from going to church, and it's okay because we're all together and we're all love and we're all, loving on each other now, and this is all cool, right? And then it turns into sacrifice. Is it human sacrifice? Most people say it is. Is it in all people's, covens and things? No, but it was introduced in, and it's not talked about, of course. So again, Christianity, religion, is a cover for satanic worship. It is. They're not actually worshiping an unconditionally loving creator. They are telling you to be afraid of the creator. Be very afraid. Make sure you walk the narrow line. Don't do this and don't do that. You're a sinner. They are always talking about an unforgiving God, that you better watch it, because when you go to heaven, you're going to be weighed. Your soul is going to be weighed. See how good you really are. You're terrified. Basically, you're terrified of going to hell. You're terrified of God's wrath. They are not worshiping a creative, loving, accepting, beautiful energy that is, of course, a part of who you are and loves you endlessly. It doesn't matter what wrong you've done. You are not judged. People judge you. These people judge you. What gave them the authority to judge you? You are judged the moment you walk into one of these places. Okay? You have to give up your money. You have to give up. My dad used to give 10%, tithing, right? That adds up. The person that runs the church, they probably don't realize everything. But the person that runs the church doesn't even have to pay for their house. That's all paid for. So where does the money go? Okay? They say they give it to charities and all that. I don't know. Well, why do we have so many homeless vets? Why do we have so many homeless people? Why do we have children on the streets? They're not really doing much then, are they? Or where's it going? Or what are they doing? I don't know. So there are rules of silence and turning a blind eye. The people who do that are safe. People who question it are not safe. Life has been very hard for someone like me. Very hard. And, I'm telling you that because if you don't know me and you don't know my story and my history, it has been one hell show after another throughout my life. There's been no lucky me. Oh, Becky's lucky. She's, doing this. None of that. If you had, like I've said before, if you'd seen me on the side of the road, you just would have walked right past me, throughout my life. No one helped. No one gave a crap, so I did it myself. And I looked for that. I looked for answers. I knew that the way things were going is not how I wanted to live, right? And I knew that God was not a vengeful God. That is something that is just an evil thing to do to people. That is evil to do that to people, you know? And only a devil would turn you away from unconditional love and make you feel like you've got to jump through so many hoops before you can actually be saved. And you may not be, but you may be, but you may not be. Depends what St. Peter says, when he gets the gates, right? What a load of crap. I'm sorry, but we're done. Okay? We're done with this cultish, control, wherever it is. Even in spiritual things, the cultish control, the people look up to, they're not helping you. They don't help you individually. You can't contact them. They're untouchable. And before they suddenly made it big, who the hell were they? Nobody. So why are they suddenly real big? Because they're doing an agenda. Because they're saying the right things, for this group that's here. Some of them don't even realize. They just think they've been so lucky they get to sign a contract for a few million. Wow, who doesn't need that right now? But they are told exactly what they've got to say from then on out. Unbelievable. So the rules of silence and turning a blind eye. This enables money, ritual, and sacrifice to be okay to humans to gain God's favor. Okay? But which God? Certainly the source of all requires nothing of you. Nothing. Only that you understand who the hell you really are and that you're sovereign and you shouldn't give it away to everybody. But sadly, we've been born into manipulation. We're changing it though. Okay? Only that you see yourself as unconditionally loving. There is no need to pray or pay to have salvation. We're not paying for salvation anymore. This is already your eternal right. The great manipulation of mankind has been what you have each been born into. As I said, you do not need to continue suffering anymore. Those who go to practice these religions are not themselves inherently evil. They're not. They just want to believe in something that's going to save them at the end of their life. They want to believe that that's what they've got to do or else. And if they piss off God too much, then they're in trouble as well. So they're just like nervous wrecks, right? Trying to do the right thing. I totally get it. I was right into it. Okay, so I was right there. But my way of doing it was completely different to everybody else's. So people who go to church, I'm not saying, you go to church if you want to go to church. That's awesome. But keep an open mind. Have a look at the bigger picture. Do you leave feeling empowered and strong in who you are as a person, as a soul? Or do you leave feeling like, oh God, I really need to tighten that up, or I need to fix this? There needs to be something I have to do over here, and maybe I need to do that, and I haven't done that right, and it causes people to be under so much pressure, right? And my dad used to say to me, and probably this is what you've heard as well, my dad would say, well, I'd rather believe and find out I was wrong than not believe and find out that Christians were correct. Oh, well, what a cop-out that is. Why don't you just own yourself? Because that's what God wants you to do. He wants you to succeed in every single way, not fail, not go to hell. There is no hell. This is hell, okay? There is no hell except that of your own choosing. Even when you pass over, right? Even when you pass over, you can choose to sit there and mull it over and be afraid and whatever you want to do. But 99.9% of people say, oh God, I'm going right there. I can feel the unconditional love. Oh my God, there's my family. There's the animals come flying at me, Some people don't though. They'll contemplate what's happened here. And sometimes that happens when it's been very, very quick. Anyway, that's a whole nother story, right? So they are blinded by the light that they wish to see, and through fear invoke trials and pain and live life without truly knowing source, but instead knowing fear of not believing. That's what they know. They're just in fear of not believing, just in case. In case what? Churches are businesses. Okay, as I explained, the pastor and his wife, they don't have to pay for their accommodation. That's part of their pay through the church, right? And whoever's, the organization is or whatever, they pay for the rental on the place, or maybe they even own the church, whatever. So all these tithes that come in from all the congregation, where does it go? It's not going to God. He doesn't need it. It's not, it might be a thanks or whatever, or I don't know, but who pockets the money? Because I don't really see much. Whenever I used to go to church, for example, I didn't see that church decor change very often. It was the same church, and all my family are preachers, or teachers, one or the other. And it goes right back, to the Methodist Church in Shenandoah, Pennsylvania. It goes all over the place. If you've been to that little Methodist church in Shenandoah, Pennsylvania, that's where all my family were preaching. I actually played the accordion in the church choir. Anyway, so churches are businesses, and they were created to force people to do as they are told. This has never been the way of light, freedom, and love, you see. And if you challenge your church about, well, how come I have to do this, and why am I restricted here, and why aren't I told that I am fabulously and wonderfully made? Why am I not told that I can use my mind to fix my body? Why am I told that I have to stay in a violent relationship because I got married to this person, right? Why am I told all these things that I have to do or else? They don't want to answer you, I'm telling you. All they'll do is sit down and say, well, I think you've got a demonic attack now. So you don't have to believe in anything, and yet will still be welcomed in the afterlife. Okay? Before there was churches, before there was religion, people were dying, I'm pretty sure of it. And where were they going? Understand that you do have choices, and you don't have to struggle. Okay? Even if you do go to church, your spiritual leader in that church should be telling you to have no fear, how to be strong, how to understand yourself, and how to give to others freely, to understand your abilities, what you've been born with from God, what you've been born with from Source, the Creator, whatever you want to call it. They should be sharing this with you. So if that's not what you're hearing, maybe you need to think about it. It is time for you all to shine, to embody all you truly can be. There is much to tell of how you all have been turned away, and you've been kept from your true origins. You've just been kept from it, right? And this will come later. Now is the time to release and awaken, come into your own super self. Trust in your own self, trust in your own self, trust in your own self, trust in your own self. You're the answer. You're the savior you're looking for. Strength of who you are has always intended to be. The strength of who you are is what you've always intended to be. It's always how it's supposed to be. That humanity understands that they are sovereign beings of light, and therefore can direct energy through decree, through declaration, through what you're saying and what you're thinking. What you're thinking is basically words anyway. You're putting it out there. You are creators. Use it to your benefit instead of your detriment. Don't keep playing the game of, oh, I feel so fat and I feel so ugly and I can't do videos and I can't lead people because of this and this and this. And who's going to listen to all that story you tell yourself is the programming, is your traumatic responses. Learn how to understand them. Come and study properly. You never have to go to a psychic or anything again. You'll get it. You'll get it, I'm telling you. And you'll be supported with it also by others who've also got it. And now their life has changed. Now they're helping other people change their lives, and so on and so on. We can beat this, but we've got to stick together and understand ourselves. Don't look to someone else to give you all the answers. This should resonate within your being, right? Trust in your own self and strength of who you've always intended to be. This activation is not something new. It's not new age, because that's all dark as well, but ancient. It brings back the old age that you were a part of creating. Listen to your truth. You are loved. You are the essence of love and creation. Be blessed and rise up, the children of the new earth. I am source energy. See? The constant reminder, and that was part one. The constant reminder that we have within ourselves, and is to find your strength and to understand when your mind is wandering to nonsense. It's going back into nonsense, and activate a forward movement again. Remember that the conscious mind, what's on the surface, is going to try to knock you off of course all of the time. It's almost like that's its job. And your job is to find your subconscious energy, which knows everything and is connected with everything, and bring this forward to combat all of that BS that you tell yourself. Again, you're only telling yourself these things is because you've been limited your whole life. You've been limited your whole life. And we unfortunately didn't know any better, and we allowed that to happen because we think it's just life. We don't understand ourselves as a soul very well at all, or at least we didn't, right? And we limited our experiences. Therefore, we believe we are limited in what we can do. Therefore, we've made do with this body, with our mind, with our whatevers, and we can change the whole thing. We can live the life we've imagined, but we have to imagine ourselves in it without a shadow of a doubt. Those shadows of doubt is something that you have to allow just to leave. Okay? Just allow it to leave. It doesn't exist if you do that. It's only something exists because we believe it to exist. We see it, we believe it, it's really there. But really, we've created what we see around us. Everything we see around us, we've created through expectation. Right? So change what you're seeing around you. That's the idea here. Right? Just get that in your mind a little bit. And you've seen countless people talk about their mind fixing things. They don't get much hype about it, but it's around there, okay? I refuse to allow anything in my body that is not positive. You know, if there's anything negative in my body or something's gonna start, then I will work on whatever I feel that energy is. So, for example, with cervical cancer, which is what I had when I was 24, what it is a pushing down. So you're pushing down into your cervix, into the deeper, parts of yourself, pushing down all your pain. Push it down. You don't cry, you don't release, you push it down, you suck it up. But basically what happens is that part of you starts to just feel so much pressure that it gives up and dies down. We have to speak to ourselves differently. We have to understand ourselves, of course, as well. So part 2 of the Destiny Code is another little channeled energy here. And we're also going to do a little meditation, which I will record. And we will finish off with a crystal mandala card to pump us up on our journey, right? All right, so one moment. Okay, so before I begin the second part, I just want to screen share for a moment. Okay. And okay, so just for a second, I just want to show you, so I just want to show you the name of these. You can write them down, okay? I don't want to mention them on here, but this is, okay? See what that's called? All right, by this person. And what this does is it sort of teaches you about where they all began from, like how it all began, kind of thing. And you know, all of these different, the Knights Templars. I mean, who hasn't had a life as a knight, right? And we can remove all of this from us as well. Bohemian Grove, all of the things that they do. So that's one. This one here is an encyclopedia. Okay. Here it is here. Take a look at what it's called. You may not be able to find this because this was a 33-degree Mason here that wrote this. And it was written in 1878. This was written in 1878, and then it was revised in 1914. Okay, so this is there's a lot in this one, right? And it's actually an encyclopedia of all the terminologies. Okay, all the symbols and terminologies here. Hang on just a sec. Where is that picture? I want to show you something real quickly. This one. Okay, so here it is here. See, because they believe in Solomon and King Solomon, Master Mason. Okay, but if you have a look at this picture here, got the pyramids here. Okay, the tomb here. The Sphinx with the female head. Okay, because that's how it's supposed to look, right? Obviously. And so it goes through all of this stuff. I mean, you can really do your own research, right? Next one, I want to try to show you the cover so you can get them if you want to. Side of it, okay, by this person here. All right. This actually has quite a lot of different books in one. Yeah, see? 8 volumes in one. This one here is the one that has all of the this one here. I don't want to say it out loud, but get this one because it's about 500 or 600 pages and it has a lot of pictures of prominent people that they've taken off of the internet. This person is an ex-Air Force pilot and is from Texas and teaches about this or tries to. And many people have been, see, there he is there. This is his name. He's the author of over 37 books, including, okay, a retired career U.S. Air Force officer, taught at the University of Texas, Austin. He's appeared on radio, TV, talk shows, okay? He gives it to you and explains the whole thing. Entering into this means that, you know, some people have lost their life, okay? It's that serious. Silent slaves will cut your throat from ear to ear. It's truth that he talks about things that take place. You know, there's different photographs of things also to show us the different patches that we have, Masonic stuff on here, the X of Osiris and the, you know, because of the sun, worshipping the sun as well. Different politicians and things and their handshakes that they do. Okay, and what that means. I mean, this really has everything in it. Something here. Okay, different birds with the 2-headed eagle, triangle at the top, the rays of the sun. Okay, Inre, that's supposed to be Catholic, right? So 33 degree, the 20th century's most revered scholar. I don't want to say the words too much. The double-headed eagle, the supreme symbol and the secret teachings of all ages, Manly P. Hall. I think I have got that one as well. And the reason is because you got to know what you're talking about. You know, you've got to know that this is in the Oval Office. You've got to know that this is stuck on the desk, you know, and what it means, what all these things mean here. what this actually means, right? Just showing you real quick some pictures. Look at his shadow. I mean, facing the opposite direction. See the combining or the synthesis of opposites. Sammy Davis Jr. As above, so below, because they're pointing down to, evil, right? Photographs, different people. Even the signage here from, this is a devil sign, right? So this is, a pope or something, right? Just trying to show you little bits and pieces. This is why you want to get this book, because it will show you a lot of things that is not able, you can't find it. So this is the double-headed eagle, and this is Albert Pike's classic book, right? So Albert Pike is a founder in the Scottish Freemasonry, talking about the Babylonian god of money and forces. Don't want to say the name, etc. Awarded to the this is awarded to the people in the 33rd degree. That's the that's, you've gone through a lot. This is in Russia. I showed you this one before. Okay, see the different pointing and things as Gorbachev, right? This was, I explained it in part 1. Okay, we have some different people now. Also, anyway, this one, if you want to really discover a lot of stuff, see, Crown Royal, tempted. It's just everywhere, right? If you and it will explain it all better than I can, right? Because I'm just, I can't. Look at this. Okay, certain people, the way that they're standing, etc. They're all in cahoots, so they really don't care who wins as long as you're a part of the group. And this was all about symbology. So this one is the secret language of symbols, a visual key to symbols and their meanings. This is also very, very, very in depth, okay, which would help you a lot as well, piecing things together, okay, piecing it all out. The other book that I was telling you about, I was able to get at the op shop, is this one. Whoops, I'll make myself. So yeah, I wanted to show you those real quick, but this is the book that I got from the secondhand, thing, Salvation Army. Can you imagine this was in the Salvation Army? And I put it back on the shelf, because I didn't like the look of him on the front. But I'm glad, because it really, even, okay, I'll even read to you what angel means in here. Okay. Okay. Angel. Okay, this will be kind of interesting to you. Angel, a symbol of invisible forces, of the powers ascending and descending between the source of life and the world of phenomena. So it's an invisible force that moves up and down between heaven and earth, basically, right? Or source and us. Here, as in other cases, such as the cross, the symbolic fact does not modify the real fact. In alchemy, the angel symbolizes sublimation, i.e., the ascension of a volatile spiritual principle, as in the figures of Viatorium, Spagyrium. The parallelism between angelic orders and astral worlds has been traced with singular precision by Rudolf Steiner in Les Hierarchies Spirituales, so the spiritual hierarchy, following the treatise on the celestial hierarchies of the pseudo-Dionysus, right? So from the earliest days of culture, angels figure in artistic iconography, and by the 4th millennium BC, little or no distinction is made. Listen to this. Little or no distinction is made between angels and the winged deities. They were the same. Gothic art in many remarkable images expresses the protective and sublime aspects of the angel figure, while the Romanesque tends rather to stress its otherworldly nature. Symbol of invisible forces of powers ascending and descending between the source of life and the world here of phenomena. That's what it says in here. It also says a big thing about eagle. Wow, it goes on about eagle for a long time as well, because it is the spirit of the sun. Again, well, we have this, right? Okay. So yeah, there's plenty of information out there if you look for it. Okay. So the next thing is the Destiny Code Part 2 is the channeling that was for this little part. It's not as long as the first one. So I'll get started. So greetings and much love we send to you. It is Source speaking with the power of celestial beings of light, here to help you and guide you once again. Many of you have already awakened your own destiny code. Hallelujah. Once unlocked only by you, you can amplify its power, your abilities, and everything you are supposed to love as your divine, or sorry, supposed to have as your divine birthright. Don't try to convince others. Those who are ready will indeed come forward. The light, the true essence, we've got to go that way. The true essence of what humanity is all about has been preserved. We've done it. Okay? We've done it already. It has been all but almost wiped out, with your scientific researchers declaring the people are heading for extinction. Okay? Because no one's the younger kids aren't doing, they just don't want to have kids, most of them, right? But we assure you, your growth, faith, and acceptance of your truth has changed everything. We've already done this. Okay, we've won, right? Your spiritual sovereignty is something you really need to claim, like we've been saying through this whole time, right? It is time for humanity to use clear thought forms to resist temptations to give away your power. Now, more than ever, these who are deceivers and who want the ultimate rule over the people, now more than ever, these who are deceivers and who want the ultimate rule over the people. Okay, so, and they forget, they want all this rule over the people, but they forget that all of those in their circle also want to be at the top. So they will destroy themselves and become leaders of none. Because all of them are so greedy that it's like, climb. I'm going to climb on your shoulders and stomp on your head to get there. So they're going to take away us first because we're the most powerful thing, or that's what they think they're doing. And then they're going to take out each other until there's, one person left on the earth? I don't think so. You all have an opportunity to move away from that destructive and evil energy. It's had its play, it's had its fun over all of this time. Now it's time to move away. It's come from interference from beings with negative intentions right from the start. And then they infiltrate all these little groups to keep everybody under control. And even people who were thinking, by looking at religion, I'm safe. No, it's all been infiltrated with darkness. It's up to us individually, okay, to understand our sovereignty. That's the bottom line. If someone's not teaching you that, walk away. So, or start teaching it yourself, okay? Who wish to stifle the world and stop the process of peace. There have always been things in the way of humanity, but you have managed to overcome all, yet not destroy the darkness until now. We've overcome, we've kept coming back, we've overcome, we've kept coming back. We haven't been able to destroy the original people that were doing it, or beings that were doing it, until now. They're not allowed in. They've been cast out. Okay, that's the work that we've done. So now you're going to have this opportunity to advance really quickly. The ancient ways, the ways of love, kindness, harmony, joy, peace, healing, instant manifestations, and more. This has nothing to do with religious groups, organizations, or institutions. The attempted takeover under the disguise of trust, it was also kept active throughout the world by threat. Okay? Very cleverly designed to entice humans into giving away their power, giving this over, and thereby losing their sovereignty and paying their respects to the very evil darkness that was actually controlling them and their predecessors all along. So those who you have looked at as kind and loving, who were churchgoers, priests, rabbis, teachers, guides, witches, etc., were giving away their own sovereignty to those so-called higher forces to receive money, to receive status, magical powers or goodness, blessings, whatever. But they already had it in the first place. So they give it away, give it up for all this money or whatever they've done it for, to get something back, in other words, but they already had it in the first place. So it's a joke on them. They gave up, okay, I'll just sign the contract or whatever is going to happen. And okay, that means that this, and this. Okay, but I don't care. Give me the money, whatever. Yeah, oh, okay, I'm going to be rich and famous. Oh, awesome. This is what the people are saying. So they gave their sovereignty away, which gave them the power to manifest all those things anyway. And they're hoping to get it back from these people. Big lie. This is not demonic as of the Bible. The Bible is not complete, not original, and not designed for anything other than fearing God, not fearing the devil, just fearing God. Infiltrated under the banner of morals. The religions cause more fear and murders than anything else. Look at things. What's been done in the name of God? We say to you, this is not your fault. And in many cases, okay, it's not the fault of church leaders either, but the code of silence and the fear of God brings people into submission. In occult studies, it is freedom to do anything. And this is the initial attraction, right? Like we were saying, you know, hey, I don't want to be a part of a religion. I don't want to be a part of anything. I want to be free to choose what I believe in. And then we get into all this other stuff. And this is the initial attraction. So you're not protecting yourself. You don't understand about that yet. You don't understand about anything other than you have this calling, like you have this feeling that you want to do something different. Once again, no thought is given to your own inner power. It's all, oh, the angels are going to give me this, or my guides are going to give me this, or I'm going to be, you know, nah. They will amplify your own energy. That's it. They can't make you be something. You've got to make yourself be something. And then they'll go, okay, she wants to do that. All right, we'll help encourage that. Right? So your connection to God's source within you, your ability to change anything with your thoughts, it's within you, and you have the ability to change everything that your body is doing, that your face is doing, that your health is doing, that your life is doing, that your love is doing, that everything that you want, you can create by thinking it into reality. This has been wiped out of all teachings. You're not supposed to know it. That's why the Bible's incomplete. There's all pieces missing, and what you've got left is what they want you to know. And even that's like, ugh, you know, it's so contradictory, right? So you have the ability to change anything with your thoughts. You don't need others to give you skills and magic. You already had it, you know? You're able to manifest instantly anyway. This is the thing that is missing. You have been able the whole time. The whole time we've been able to do all of this. We've been able to change everything. We've been able to fix this. But we don't believe we can. So therefore, we have this expectation of it being so difficult, being so hard, being so far away. It's going to take a lot of work and a lot of effort, because you're told throughout your life that, you know, things come with hard work. and we're brainwashed and brainwashed and brainwashed. Not our parents' fault, and for the most part, because they were brainwashed worse than us, as it goes back in time. God. So, we have this memory wipe of how awesome we actually are. But I'm telling you what, the darkness knows how awesome you are. Those other beings are like this. They don't even understand their sovereignty. It's like a big joke. We're getting laughed at. Not anymore though, right? So it's a belief in something greater than you holding all the cards. And this became a problem in more ways than one. Anyone who instructs you to give a part of yourself away so you can become more powerful is never helping you. Only themselves, right? You are sovereign and you hold the most powerful positions already. There it is in a nutshell. The great lie of humanity has been secret organizations which have had footholds over you, implemented through our schools, through our healthcare, implemented. You think you know everything about science and all the secrets. You don't, but not any longer. So as you understand your own powerful energy, you use it to change your own life, you will no longer require anyone to continue to remind you, right? You're not going to need it, okay? You want to follow your intuition and stuff and back it up with some cards, you can do that. You can do anything you want as long as you believe that you already have this power within you. This sovereign energy is your destiny to wake up to it and understand that your mind, whatever is consuming, whatever's foremost on your mind is going to happen. So you want to make sure it's what you want to have happen, right? Because your doubts and your fears and your worries and your stresses and your dramas and your exes and your this and your that and your health, that is all becoming so consumed in your mind, in your life, in your body. That's all you ever see. So you don't believe that there can be any difference. I've had it all before. I've done it myself. I didn't know there was a way out, that I could actually do it, that I had this within me, because you told your whole life how stupid and useless you are. Why would you think you'd be able to actually change and make miracles happen with your own energy? You wouldn't think that. I get it. This is all changing though. Okay? So the great lie of humanity. Having a scattered brain, always stressing yourself and fighting yourself, is not the truth of who you are. It's not. It's how you've been programmed to be. It's how you've been programmed to respond. It's your trauma response button or whatever it is, because of the things that happened to you as a child, how you were treated by your parents, whether you had any parents or not, where you lived, your nature versus the nurturing care you had, etc. All of these things fight you until you understand that you have the power to control the whole thing. It's a freedom once you know this. You do have all the power of all the universes within you. And once you understand this without becoming superior like all these other people, you have no need but for yourself. You will have no need for anything, since all can be created. You don't have a need. You may want to have a few things. That's awesome. But you don't have a need for it anymore, because you're completely connected within yourself and your abilities, and your destiny code is activated. A true help in this lifetime on earth shares the truth. They share this truth, right? And makes you aware of hidden darkness. That's how it is. An open darkness, and that there's darkness everywhere, but also tell you that nothing will stop the movement of light about to fill the universe. That's what I'm being told to tell you. An overdue increase of strength and power to those who did not give in to this. But it's here for any soul wanting to refresh, renew, renounce promises, and make them to yourself instead. Right? You humans have always had the power to do anything you want, and now it's the time to embrace it. You are so loved. You are so supported. And if you actually knew how much, you wouldn't be worried about anything ever again. Live in your own personal power with awareness. So it is. This is how it is. Okay? The great lie that you've been told your whole life is that you can't, that it's hard, that you have to work really hard as well, that someone else is always going to be smarter or better looking or more creative than you. This is what we're told. So you better just, accept yourself for your lot. And I'm here to tell you that you don't have to do any of that, right? That you are a sovereign being of light. As such, you command what you want out of this life. You rebuke anything that does not align with that. You do not allow yourself to be controlled by the views and the opinions and the wants and needs of others. And then you will find yourself in a true leadership position where everybody wants to know what the hell you're doing. Okay? This is why I created the Academy, to give you true and in-depth knowledge, support, and strength about your life, releasing all of these traumas, healing yourself remarkably, and then able to share it with others. We need people. We need people, because when you change your life, what do you think is going to happen? There's going to be people that are still spinning out of control, and they're going to need someone who's strong and centered to show them the way and give them that strength back within themselves, right? So that's what the Academy is about. It's about superior, world-class training that is part of you. You already know all this. This is the thing. You know all of this. When you get it, you'll have memories flooding over you, and you'll know it all. And then you'll be able to share it confidently with others, right? So what we're going to do now is, what should I do first? I'll do this short meditation. Okay, we're going to see what you're going to get out of this meditation. And then I'm going to do a short card message for us as well, and to finish everything off. So I really hope that you're understanding now of where this is all coming from. That we have this skill and this ability that they don't want us to know about. Too bad, okay? We know about it now, so we've got to do something with it, right? Okay. So let me just pause this for a second. I'll be right with you. Okay, so just get yourself ready. This is just a very, very easy meditation. I have actually recorded this before, but I'm going to do it again. It is called, I think I called it something. There's the Pyramid of Knowledge. Yeah, the Pyramid of Knowledge, okay? So what we're going to do here, just get yourself relaxed, okay? Get yourself in a comfortable position. I'm going to record this for us. And we are understanding ourselves in a different way. And if you have been wanting to know answers to questions and things, then this is the opportunity for you to ask some things, okay? So close your eyes, okay? We're going to trust this energy here. Just relax. And situate yourself in a very comfortable chair, or you can lie down. And we are surrounded with the triple shield of protection. We are surrounded with white light. We are surrounded with beautiful pink light as well. And this is the pink light of love. What we want to do is feel and imagine this light coming up through your feet, through your legs as you relax your entire body. Breathing deeply now as all negativity flows out of you like dark smoke, and the rose light of love takes its place. So just breathing now. And then breathing regularly and gently as you do when you are asleep. You want to visualize the light moving up and up and up your body, all the way to your neck, arms and face, even behind your eyes. The last vestiges of any and all negative energy are being absorbed into the light of Source's love. I want you to just use your imagination and imagine now that you are in a desert. The sand in this desert seems to stretch as far as you can see. The amazing part is that you are not hot and you have no sense of isolation, even though there is a starkness about your environment. Everything is serene. And as you sense the wind shift slightly, feel the sand beneath your feet. Begin to notice that this simplicity helps you unclutter your mind. Imagine the peace, the quiet, the wind, the sand, and walking effortlessly. All of a sudden, over a sand dune to your right, you begin to see what looks like the top of a pyramid. You climb the dune, and there in the middle of the desert is a gleaming, beautiful pyramid. It looks like a prism, and colors of every description emanate from it whenever the sunlight changes. You move over to it now and you notice that it has indented levels you can climb. And you're not sure at first why you want to climb this ancient structure, but you feel a reverence and you see the structure as a symbol of knowledge. You climb to the top, and when you reach the very top, you ask God to infuse you with not only spirituality, but the power of discernment, the power of prophecy, the power of your own destiny code. As soon as you ask, you feel that your mind and soul have opened. It is as if you have become a beautiful tube. Not a mindless tube, but a conduit for God's knowledge and the line that taps into life's records. So we make an intention now of never using any knowledge to hurt anyone through spite, vengeance, jealousy, or malice of any kind. Asking that this tube stays pure and that each day I grow in spiritual grace and be inspired to help people. And now, during this period of connection, I will give you a moment to ask about any person or problem that you need clarity about. And you may be surprised at how immediate the answer is. This is to help you to be better able to help others. If there's any challenges clouding your mind, ask that this be resolved. And I'll just give you a moment to ask your questions. Take the first answer. And now, take yourself down from the pyramid, knowing that you can go there anytime you want. Eventually, you'll be able to do it on command. Never hurts to have a vehicle to get there. Bring yourself across the sand, back to this world, to this energy, grounded and connected, anchored, safe and protected, feeling absolutely refreshed and free, knowing that if you did not receive a message straight away, this will come. Keep trying and keep working with it with an open mind and heart. And we give thanks for the messages received today. We give thanks for the healing and the new direction we are moving in. And we ask for this energy to be sealed in love and light. It is done, and so it is. Okay, so just take a moment just to come back, relax. You may want to write down some messages that you got, or you'll just know what you received. Okay, save this one. Okay. Okay, everybody. Okay, so we did this. Excellent. Okay. So from that exercise, you just start to get to know the power of who you really are, and that's what all of this work is about, is you understanding that you're already sovereign and nobody can take that away from you unless you give that to them. And in that sense, you can still give it back to yourself, okay, even if you've done this before. So I do encourage you to sign up on the Teachable website. It's all free for this particular Destiny Code. There are other courses that you can also learn from that are not part of the Light Leaders Academy. And then you've got semester 1 and 2 at the Light Leaders Academy as well. And you can pay it off in 12 payments, right? You don't have to just have all this. You can do it straight away once you get started with the payment plan, basically. So let's finish off our Destiny Code messages with the Crystal Mandala Oracle. Okay. All right, so what is it that we all need to hear? Basically told you all that I feel like we need to hear, but this will probably back us up. These cards tend to do that. And then, okay. Archangel Metatron and Clear Quartz, Power. This is the card we got, Power. Excuse me. It's the first card, number 1. You're number 1. Doesn't mean we're selfish. It doesn't mean anything like that. We're just acknowledging ourselves for who we are. Archangel Metatron, Power. Together we bring you the gift of power. Spiritual power enables you to trust in your higher guidance, no matter what appears to be happening in your life. Psychological and emotional power enables you to transform through evolving your belief systems and processing your emotions, through which you gain wisdom. Physical power gives you the strength to take action on matters that serve your life path. This gift of power is safe for you to receive because you will use it to fulfill your divine destiny. That's the word. To fulfill your divine destiny, which in turn supports all beings. Okay? You can't make it up. It's all here. It's backing us up. The destiny code, your divine destiny, like holy. Anyway, so this brings you guidance about the nature of power within you. As part of your spiritual journey at this time, you're being given the opportunity to change your relationship to power. This may mean letting go of fear of being powerful, because we don't want to be bossy. It might seem strange to hold such a fear, yet if we look around the world today, there are many examples of those in powerful positions being exploitive and abusive rather than protective and empowering. Oh my God, of those that may be impacted by their expression of power. Yet power itself is an essential component on the spiritual path. Without it, you will lack the energy needed to follow your dreams. Take meaningful action, stand up for what's true for you, set priorities and honor them, establish clear and helpful boundaries with others, and become a courageous light shining true, even if others doubt or misunderstand you. Hello? Yes, power can be misused when it comes from selfish agenda about serving one's own immediate needs instead of serving love. When one chooses to serve love in all things, something marvelous happens. Personal needs are met as well as the needs of others. It's a win-win situation that is created. To use your power to serve love will help you grow rapidly on the spiritual path and gain traction in the physical world, bringing your dreams to life more quickly. You'll know when you are using your power to serve love because it will feel strengthening to your heart, and you will become able to step forward on your life path, expressing yourself in a clearer, stronger, and a more empowered way. As your light shines brighter in this way, you'll be helping others more as well. As you continue to become more comfortable with owning your power, you will learn how to handle yourself in a way that is lovingly disciplined and strong. You shall become even more willing to admit to the aspects of your character not constructive or helpful without judging yourself, but whilst also acknowledging that you're powerful enough to do something to heal an attitude or change a behavior that isn't supporting your soul. You will then increase your power even more because you'll increase your ability to overcome the behaviors that would once have held you back. Every human personality has its strengths and its less helpful qualities. Less helpful qualities in your character are not bad. They are gifts from the universe, the places through which we are encouraged to pay attention so we can lovingly grow. They are a starting place through which we focus our healing intention, become more empowered, and gain great soul satisfaction in doing so. The best way to do this is to love yourself. Then you can accept whatever your less helpful traits may be and use your personal power to choose different ways to be over and over again. Your personal power will give you the ability to keep adjusting your behavior, realigning your thinking with a strong, loving reality, and cultivating unconditional trust and determination. When you commit to these powerful behaviors, you will naturally evolve into a new and more spiritually advanced way of being. In this way, you can accept the gift of power without fear that you will misuse it. Of course, you're not going to misuse it. Your use of power is to serve your spiritual growth. Whenever we grow spiritually, we are helping not only ourselves, but the greater good as well. Even if that spiritual growth sometimes makes others uncomfortable for a time. After all, growth is rarely a comfortable process, at least at first. The gift of power you now accept will support you to transform any tendency you have towards self-sabotage, doubt, feeling afraid, lacking in confidence, or being unwilling to take risks that are essential if you are to grow. Within you now is the inner strength to overcome any obstacle. Your spiritual success is inevitable. It's only a matter of time before you see and feel it in your world, like, oh my God. So we're going to integrate this guidance immediately, okay? Because it's exactly what we're doing. Exactly. Archangel Metatron as well. I call upon just put your hand over the center of your chest, right in your heart right now. I call upon this crystal angel of clear quartz and Archangel Metatron who love me unconditionally. Thank you for divine healing around all aspects of my expression of power now. I choose to see, know, and feel that I'm a very powerful being that serves love. It is so natural for me to realize my inner power and to feel safe in expressing it, to serve love, even tough love sometimes in all ways. I choose of my own free will through this in any lifetime and through all layers of my entire being to release any fear, doubt, guilt, or shame over the use or abuse of power by myself or others. I now dedicate myself to receive the gift of divine power, to use it wisely and in service to my life path for the greater good, through divine mercy and unconditional love. May divine love heal all expressions of power. May all power serve love so that every being can be happy and free. According to divine wisdom, I express my power on the path of love and grow my divine presence in the world. So be it, so be it, so be it. Okay? Together, we bring you the gift of power. Spiritual power enables you to trust in your higher guidance no matter what appears to be happening in your life. Psychological and emotional power enables you to transform through evolving your belief systems and processing your emotions, through which you gain wisdom. Physical power gives you the strength to take action on the matters that serve your life path. Take action. Invest in yourself. The gift of power is safe for you to receive because you will use it to fulfill your divine destiny. Anything else in your head is rubbish. You are using things forward with love and light and in your own way to fulfill your divine destiny, thereby helping the world to fulfill its own. So, and it supports all beings, okay? This energy supports all beings. What you're doing for yourself, the destiny code, stepping into it, accepting your sovereignty, accepting who you are, understanding there's evil in this world that has been infiltrated in all sections of it, and that it's our job to move forward into our destiny and start to bring people forward with it and give them the empowerment that they need instead of the trash talk and the hurt and the pain. They already know all of that. They've already feel all of that. And it's time to bring everybody forward into understanding their own sovereignty. You must understand your sovereignty, and then you're going to feel unstoppable. Okay, if you can get out of your own way, if you can start monitoring your monkey brain, if you can start monitoring all your doubts and everything that comes out of your mouth. Oh, I hate it when this happens. Stop yourself. Say, okay, that's the wrong words to use right now. I love this because this is happening. Rather, I hate it when that happens. I love this because it's happening now. That doesn't exist, right? So use this power. It's within you. And know that you won't abuse it. Because if you do, you know that it's going to backfire very, very quickly on you. Okay? And that's not what being a truther or someone who is sharing love should do. Someone who's sharing love should not be tearing other people down, right? In their messaging and their, making people feel stupid and worse than what they already did feel. It should all be about uplifting, encouraging, not keeping it all to yourself in case someone else is better at it than you are. It's all about sharing, giving, and understanding, most importantly, your sovereign energy, and never give it away again. I hope you enjoyed this webinar on the Destiny Code Part 2. I may do a third part, I'm not sure yet. But until the next time, many blessings and bye for now. Bye.